Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I'm gonna present about native like proficiency in English by Aryo Merdiansyah. And this as my course at academic speaking. So the native speaker typically have a deep and intuitive understanding of the language, including its grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and cultural nuance. Native speakers are people who learn a language as their first language as children and have acquired it as a natural and primary means of communication. Characteristic of native speaker. The first one, language learning. Native speakers often learn their first language via their parents, family, and the environment they grow up in during their early years without any specific training. The second one, fluency. Native speakers often have a high level of proficiency in their mother tongue, which means they can communicate clearly in all linguistic contexts, including speaking, listening, reading, and writing. The third one, intuition. The grammar and syntax of their native language come naturally to native speaker without consciously considering the rules. They can correct grammatically sound statements. The fourth one, native speakers naturally have an accent and pronounce words with a regional or cultural flair. They typically have a regional accent. That's for accent and pronunciation. The fifth one, idiomatic usage. Native speakers employ idioms, slang, and cultural allusions unique to their language and culture. These concepts are second nature to them. The sixth, cultural understanding. Native speakers frequently have a strong cultural grasp of the language they speak. They are conscious of cultural norms, customs, and language usage in certain situations. The seventh, linguistic competence. Linguistic competence is the ability of native speakers to create and comprehend an endless number of statements in their native tongue, even if they have never heard those particular. And the last one is language evolution. Native speakers may see change in their language over time and adjust. Native speakers adjust to new vocabulary and phrase as language change. As the English language is spoken in many different nations and locations across the world, native English speakers can display a broad range of competency levels and accents. Several major groups are native English speakers may be created on the basis of dialects and linguistic variants. The first one we have Standard American English. The majority of native speakers of Standard American English originate in the United States or other countries that have been substantially impacted by American English. This covers alterations like General American and regional accents from the South, the Midwest, and the Northeast of the United States. Standard British English. Southern England is home to many native speakers of RP, sometimes known as BBC English, who are from the United Kingdom. Scottish, Welsh, and Northern English are only a few examples of the numerous regional accents and dialects that make up British English. Australian English. Australians are the native speakers of Australian English. The accents, the vocabulary, and idioms of Australian English are distinctive. Canadian English. Native speakers of Canadian English are from Canada. Canadian English can vary by region with influence from both British and American English. Indian English. Indian English may contain features from regional language and represent the linguistic variety of India. Singaporean English. Singapore is the home of native Singaporean English speakers. English, Malay, Chinese, Tamil, and other regional languages are all incorporated into this dialect. Okay, it is crucial to remember that there are different regional accents and variants within each of these main of groups, depending on the situation native English speaker may use, varying degrees of formality or informality in their speech. Native English speakers may also be exposed to conversation in different English dialects and accent to varied degrees. As of universal language, English is distinguished by its diversity. Each native English speaker contributes to the language their particular linguistic background and geographical influence. There are several benefits from learning a native speaker. The first one, authentic pronunciation and accent. Native speakers can offer advice on proper pronunciation and accent. If you wish to speak the target language clearly and naturally, this is a very crucial. The second one, natural language use. Native speaker can assist you understand how the language is spoken and utilized in ordinary discussion, including slang and idiomatic phrase, because they do so naturally in everyday situation. I mean, like every situation, they always using that. The third one, cultural insight. Native speakers frequently have profound cultural knowledge of the language. You may improve your general language knowledge by learning about the cultural quirks, tradition, and convention connected to the language. So, culture has a big role too to the native speaker. It can affect. Uh, I mean, like affect I'm a Sudanese and I'm born in Java. My English can be affected by my Sunda accents, and that's why cultural is big role in the native speaker. And the last one, listening comprehension. Your listening abilities can be enhanced by interacting with native speakers. You may become used to the conversation natural tempo, intonation, and rhythm by listening to native speaker of the language. Then that's all for the benefit. Let me repeat. The first one is authentic pronunciation and accent. It's a great benefit for us who want to speak like native speakers. And second one, natural language use. Yeah, you can use slang, so we can more comfortable to speak like an speak like native speakers. Yeah, I forgot. And cultural insight and the same person. I think that's enough for the benefit. Now let's move on. Okay, this is for the conclusion. Learning a language from a native speaker has many benefits, such as authentic pronunciation, cultural insight, the use of natural language, enhance motivation and confidence, expand vocabulary, error correction, opportunities for natural exchange, and potential networking relationships. This advantage can make a huge difference in your language learning process and aid in your quest for a better comprehension of the language and its cultural setting. But it is crucial to treat native speaker training as a component of an all encompassing language learning plan. Although native speakers are excellent at delivering the realistic language experience, they don't necessarily possess the pedagogical abilities necessary to clarify grammatical principles or design courses that follow a set pattern. Therefore, to optimize competency and fluency in the target language, a well-rounded language learning strategy should mix learning from native speaker with scheduled lecture, self-study, and practical practice. So, after we are talk about our discussion in this paper and in this paper or PPT, I think PPT, we can assume that there's many uh, dialect or accent in this word for the English. Yeah, let me summarize. Let me back to the previous slide. Yeah, there's content standard American English, standard British English, Australian English, Canadian English, Indian English, Singaporean English. I think this is the last one. Yeah, all of this it's not important to learn about them, but if you want to learn about them, it has many benefits too, like can understand their meaning or maybe not understand their meaning. We can do speak more clarify to them so they can easy understand like what we want to talk about, what we want to try to talk. But for me, not all learning native speaker has a benefit. Sometimes learning a benefit, and sometimes learning a native speaker, there has like bad inside. I don't know what's right. Negative side. The negative side of learning this accent is we are lost our identity. If you are born from Indonesia, it should be good if we are bring our cultural accent. Like if I'm from Java, if I'm from Sundanese, if I'm from Kalimantan, if I'm from Sulawesi, it is okay if we talk English with our natural accent. If we are born, example, if I'm born in Java, I can speak English with Java accents, so can make an identity for me as an Indonesian people. But I mean, it will be not easy to understand to the uh like stranger, not stranger, like if we talk English with Japanese and then we go to USA or British and we talk and when we're doing conversation with them with an accent Japanese, I think it will make a misunderstanding or miscommunication. Why? Because sometimes Java accents affect pronunciation, so that's why uh, we should be uh, elaborate our accent to the native speaker. So if we elaborate our Japanese accent English with the Singaporean English, yeah, that's not too far. Still in the same, not very far country, still in neighbor of Indonesia. Yeah, if we elaborate Japanese language, Japanese accent English with Singaporean English accent, I think it will make perfect our identity. And Indonesian will have many accent English that can worth me know. Yeah, that's for my opinion. And the rest is for you. For the rest, I give it back to yours. I'm just spilling my argument. And yeah, I think that's enough for me. And let me go back to here, and I want to say thank you for listening my paper until this 5:50 minute. Yeah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.